Bull or bear? Spinning an 1842 seated dollar, actually. I think it's like a VF polished. Hard to tell when they're spinning. And she comes up a bull. Good morning, folks. What's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Got the live Deerfield beach cam on right now. And saw a couple tarpon and a few snook rolling by here. Got a little schmooch on the screen there, but I think that's algae. They haven't cleaned it yet. Well, anyways, let's not talk about the fishes here and get into what we need to do. I got to keep this video fairly short. Like this quote, by the way, one of the sanest and surest and most generous joys of life comes from being happy over the good fortune of others. That's by Robert Heinlein, I believe. And, I thought about it, and when I saw that quote, I said, that's really true. I mean, your happiest moments in life are seeing, or your joys really do come from seeing other people have good fortune. And we need more of that, actually, right now in the world, instead of people getting great joy of seeing people's misfortune, which just seemed to be where this world has been heading lately. Oh, anyways, I don't want to get philosophicals on all you guys. So let's get right into spot prices here. I'm going to do a quick refresh, and let's see what we got going on. Overall market trend kind of heading downward. We will probably see sub $23 silver. I don't think by an awful lot, though, unless they can really monkey hammer it on Friday. What you really see is a culmination here of, again, the crooked commercials, driving prices down, gold, silver, and platinum across the board. Don't know about platinum, but it looks pretty cheap to me. Gold currently sitting at $1921.45. That's down several dollars from 1928. Will they drive it below 1900? I just don't see it. Gold's just showing some good overall strength, and silver is too. I mean, there's some heavy hitting going on out there. There's a lot of big, giant monkey hammers trying to knock these markets down substantially lower than where they are right now. But the success of it is, not too, we're not seeing big, huge drops. At least we haven't seen any in this current market that we've been following here the last few months. Well, we saw it shoot up to almost 25. Now we're back down to 23 and 22. And yes, the commercials did add to their big short positions again, simply to do what they're doing right now. Platinum, again, the tell, if you noticed, platinum kind of started falling before the other metals fell. And here we are now, platinum looking at that 910 mark, where we see sub $900 platinum, more than likely, because platinum is such a small, easy market for them to move around and screw with. Silver, same way, a little bigger than the platinum market for sure. But gold, not so much. Much harder for these guys to monkey hammer the price of gold for any substantial time. But we're still, and people say, well, gold's low. Where the hell do people get the idea that gold's low? I'm so, I had a guy call me the other day and thinking, well, he says, well, am I safe at gold? It is down right now. And I'm thinking to myself, down compared to what? I mean, take a look at the charts. We're again, 5%, roughly 5%. Hang on, let me, just for craps and giggles here, let's just do this, 1.0, maybe let's do 7%. Yeah, I'd say about 7.5%. We're about 7.5% from all-time highs in gold. So the idea that we're somehow gold is cheap, gold is low, and then this guy's idea, well, it's really low and it's been dropping. Do you think it's going to go to 500? Folks, I seldom laugh when customers say things because, they don't know this business like I do. But, man, I had to blurt out a laugh on that $500 gold thing. But anyways, let's not, I explained to him that I felt that it was highly unlikely in this world or universe or my current life that we're going to see $500 gold ever again, but when people are new into this, I mean, and you start to see a market fall, and like I said to them, a lot of folks are thinking, oh, it's down, it's got really killed hard. I mean, gold's gotten tough. It's not, folks. It's 7% within its high. Silver, a whole different story. Silver is not 7% within its high. Its all-time highs have been twice, $50, 2012 and 1980, more or less. And we have yet to see silver hit its all-time high. Now, silver during the Critter 19, during that whole period, was silver was about 30 bucks. I was trying to remember how high it got, 30, 31, whatever it was. It might even been a little bit higher than that, but no less, it still hasn't seen its all-time high. In the last couple years, silver has been banging on that $25 door. You guys have been watching it since the Critter 19 was over, and silver had hitting that 30 bucks before it got slammed by the monkey hammer bastards again in the COMEX, CRIMEX markets. But 25 has kind of been it for the last couple years, and we keep approaching that $25 mark off and on, and it would get hammered really hard. We'd see it hit down to 22, 21. I'm not even sure if we've seen a sub 20 at some point. I don't think we did, but we were banging in that $21, $22 mark, or they were banging in that 21, 22 mark. But we're still sitting close, and silver hasn't got hammered that bad considered. Again, if you compare it to its all-time high, which last time it hit its all-time high was 2012, we're not even close to that, unlike gold being 7% close to that. But silver is still within a reasonable a reasonable distance of that $25 mark that we've been looking at the last couple of years, and they haven't really been able to bang it hard. I'm wondering, I don't think we're going to see $21 silver this week or next week, but hell, you never know. As I always say, and Ted Butler talks about, never underestimate the power of these crooked commercials, especially when there is no federal oversight. There's no government oversight over these markets, over the silver markets and the gold markets. They allow these guys to run these huge, non-speculative or I get so tired of talking about how these markets are manipulated, but it will end, especially with silver. We're looking at huge physical shortages out there. No, APMEX and SD and JM, and I'm not running out of silver, and neither are the other guys or your local dealers not running out of silver or gold. But and our market's so small, there's plenty of retail product out there, especially since retail buyers have slowed down dramatically. But where the real shortage is where us common folks don't tread. It's into the SLV, and it's the ETFs out there having a hard time to store silver. They get the silver in, and all of a sudden it's sucked out of there. But that's a whole different story that Ted Butler's been talking about. Meanwhile, folks, I just say keep buying the dips, and if you're not in a buy position, absolutely don't sell. And again, my opinion, wouldn't sell into a low market. I'd buy these dips or just sit and hold. Platinum looking pretty cheap again too. I wonder when platinum's going to have its day. The poor redheaded stepchild of of metals. You can kind of see, folks, where this stuff gets monkey hammered. Nobody's capitulating and selling silver. This is just pure derivative contracts in the CRIMEX market that you're seeing right here. Maybe spoofing, because nobody, again, the CFTC, none of the federal, they're worthless as tits on a log, so to speak, but nobody is stopping them from doing this kind of behavior. Again, folks, this is not capitulation of silver. This is large corporate banks just going in there and manipulating the price of silver down. And they do the same thing with gold, but again, not to the same degree. Gold is a tougher market because it's a worldwide market, and most all the silver that's traded and the price of silver that we come up with is done in the CRIMEX, COMEX markets. Gold is more international, so they don't have that power like they do in the criminal CRIMEX markets to knock that market as much. But they can do it on a daily basis and quickly. But gold showing great strength, silver showing good strength, and I know, again, gold near its 7% all-time high, silver still not seeing its all-time high, but when it happens, man, we're going to see a double up here, maybe a triple up, and that's my opinion. That's what I'm waiting for, and if I'm wrong, well, hell, we're all wrong together, folks, and I think a lot of you believe the same thing I do. As far as gold goes, and silver, again, a little more, silver market is going to explode based on supply and demand, the fact that there's very little supply out there, and that the market is so screwed up because of this paper derivatives market that, again, they've just going to screw up the supply side. And besides investor demand for silver, you've got manufacturing demand that's not going to stop. It's a continual draw off the silver markets, plus mining not being as not as much stuff coming in mines as there used to be. What's, what do you got to look at? Dollar strength? When it comes to silver, no. Silver is just a manipulated market that's going to have its own explosive day, separate from gold. Well, in conjunction with gold probably as well, but silver is just going to take off. I can see a double up and a triple up in silver, whereas I could not see a double up in gold in the same period of time. Dollar strength. Dollar strength overall is going to cause markets to go up or down. Not really. Dollars on its side. Dollar strength is just simply a measure of strength against other currencies, as this little bit right here says. I've talked about that all the time. It doesn't mean that your dollar buys more, and that's here, dollar strength. But a lot of probably algorithmic trading, computer trading, and a lot of traders out there use dollar strength as a reason to sell gold or buy gold. Probably not the big commercials, those guys just run havoc over the market. They just manipulate the market. But probably the managed money traders that are getting in and out of gold and silver, those guys use the graphs and the trading graphs and algorithms and all that stuff to figure out where they're going. And a stronger dollar to them might mean that they need to be out of gold. But again, those guys aren't too bright. It don't seem they're too bright. But dollar index just simply means that it's stronger against other currencies. It doesn't mean that it buys more. And if you need proof of that, just simply look at this Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, purchasing power of the consumer dollar and the U.S. cities. Folks, this is not our lifetime chart. This is a one-year chart. You want to see how dismal and how bad things are? Here you go. Take a look at this. This is a one-year chart of consumer purchasing power. And this is, in my opinion, is why we're seeing gold staying strong as it is, because it's holding up to this major inflation that we're seeing. And again, this is the government's own figures, so don't let them lie to you and say inflation is not an issue. Look at that. That's a ski slope there, man. So mountain. That's a mountain right there. Right after that, that's just a free fall kind of is what they're in almost. But as long as this line continues to go down, and what makes you think it's going to go up anytime soon? Look at that chart. It's not going to go up anytime soon. Hey, let me silence that call. Give me 1 second here. I am downstairs in the office. The other ones might ring. But, folks, based on the history of the U.S. dollar, it's not looking good. So, the one-year chart, can it go to zero? Yeah, well, I guess all fiat currencies eventually turn to zero. Oh, okay, let's get out of that. That's, that's stuff we talk about all the time. I got a cool little machine, and I want to go over a couple things with you guys. It's called a Sigma Metalytics. You got a couple of you folks out there own these, and some of you have said, hey, Brian, do you own one of these? What's your opinion on it? Didn't have much of an opinion. We mostly use, that $17,000 Titan Bruker XRF machine, which is what an X-ray fluorescence it uses to, tell you what kind of elements are in the object. We also use a, here, I'm looking at the name now, Alpha Mirage something, gold, silver, platinum tester, which uses specific gravity, a very sensitive scale. And I have added this to my repertoire, okay? I think this is about $2,000 or $3,000 for the whole setup. That's for 100-ounce bars. But you know what? I'm impressed with it. I got to tell you, it's a pretty cool machine. If you read the directions and understand what you're looking at, this item can still test things that are not gold as gold, show up as gold. So you have to have a feeling for your product a little bit, know what gold, silver, and platinum looks like, feels like, and also the measurements are very important. You have to make sure that the items are within the parameters of, the dimensions are correct, almost like specific gravity. It's a great machine. And if any of you want to spend that $2,000 or $3,000, well, I'm still not going to recommend it. I think this is going to be more for dealers and more for people that are buying huge amounts of gold and silver and platinum that want to test it. But I'm going to give you a little secret, a little product that has been around for a long time that can save you a ton of money if you want to test products. And I believe you can buy very specific things to test specific products. And that's called the fish detector. I bought one of these back in 1980s. I still got my fish detectors, and they're hard to see, and I don't really care for their site too much. I think it's the same site they've always had. But you see these little plastic things right here? Let me see if I can go back and show you one in an image or something. I think they might have an image. Let's see, a fish detector. There you go. A little hard to see, but there's a fish detector right there, and a good side view of one. There's a Krugerrand. These fish detectors are relatively very inexpensive. I mean, I think you can buy a set of them for $200 or $300, but I believe you might be able to even buy just like the Krugerrands or just the gold bars. But for a piece of plastic, they're amazingly accurate. Okay, you put the coin in that slot right there. It'll measure the width of the coin and the diameter of the coin, and as well as the diameter here and the weight. Because the way it's balanced right there. So, you know, for the cost of, for what these things cost, and, you know, if you ever consider buying one of these, but you're thinking like, man, $2 or $3 grand, I'm not going to spend that. You really probably shouldn't. Take a look and seriously consider these things, these fish detectors that I was just showing you, because again, they do work, and there you go, the fish company, the fish. They do work, and they got a couple videos out here you can probably watch as well. Here, let's take a look here. How to use the gold and silver fish detector. There you go. Kind of goes into details. But again, okay, look, there's the cost. Look, for $2,000 or $3,000, you can buy that machine that I've got right there. Again, worth it for a dealer, but you can buy this for Krugerrands and American Eagles for $219 and pretty much guarantee that it's going to work 100% almost all the time. There's a few things there that you might get caught on, but I doubt you're ever going to buy a fake gold coin owning one of these. Again, cheap way to check the stuff yourself. There's other ways too. If you ever come by my store, I'll show you how to visually check gold coins, and by the sound as well, which a lot of you know about. Best deals out there, folks, are still, when it comes to gold, I'm going to say gold bars are still the best deal out there, like spot plus $80 on the small quantity side. Maple Leaf spot plus $95 on small quantities, plus 80 on, plus 85 on Krugerrands. Oh man, kangaroos are a little bit more than KRs right now. So I think the best deal for coins out there are definitely Krugerrands for sure. Gold bars are about $5 an ounce cheaper. 1 ounce Eagles are about spot plus $125. It looks like they've gone up just a tiny bit. What else is for silver? What's the best deal out there? You know, 90%. If you're buying less than $500 face value and you live in Florida and you can't, you know, you're not spending over $500 to get over the sales tax hump, because sales tax goes into effect for non-U.S. products below $500 in Florida. I'd say 90% is looking attractive, especially considering that there's 7% sales tax on bars and other things if you're not spending over $500. So spot plus 3 1/4 for 90% or less. 1 ounce round spot plus $290 or less. 100 ounce bars $235 or less. Kilo bars spot plus $275 or less. Silver Eagles I'd still stay away from. They're like probably $675 or over. Maple Leafs not too bad, but 5 1/4 over or less. Those are the best deals out there, folks. And I'm giving you kind of products, you know, those numbers kind of roundabout way quickly, and try not to pay more than that on small quantities. And larger quantities, obviously, myself and maybe your local dealer can sell for even cheaper. We do sell for cheaper. I'd like to thank everybody for watching last week's video. CBDCs make gold and silver illegal to own. Interesting topic that we were discussing. For some reason, CBDCs get a lot of views and a lot of comments. I really can't go into all the comments today, but I'd like to thank all of you for watching that. I've got actually customers standing outside my door looking at me, wondering why I'm talking to my computer and not opening the door for them. Little awkward. So that's, if you're wondering why I'm not reading all the comments here, that is why. And then a lot of great ones. I enjoy reading the comments. I do it all the time, and I love it when you guys get into conversations with each other. I have such a intelligent and handsome and pretty, for you ladies out there, fan base. Not a fan base, but a, what do you call this? People that watch, anyway, people that watch my videos, okay? All right, that's it, folks. I do have to roll, but catch me out on Twitter, which I should try to be building up Twitter out there. I mean, it's a great forum, and it's a great way to talk to you folks and talk with other experts as well. And I like the free speech forum format that they offer. Same thing, you can, if you don't catch me on this particular forum on because I said something they didn't like, you'll find me out here where I back up everything as well. Not as many viewers out there, but again, this is kind of like my backup, and they're not going to throw me off for saying anything. As I always say, folks, think for yourself and question authority, Timothy Leary. And most of all, question what you think you know. You may be wrong. It's hard to question other people when you may be wrong yourselves, or we may be wrong. Well, anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. And if you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum in any quantities from $1 worth to millions of dollars worth, we're here in South Florida with a brick and mortar store open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. Happy to help you out. And again, we beat the locals, as well as we beat Atmex, SD, and J and Bullion on their popular products, or not popular products, but on the reasonably priced products. We don't buy all the different things they do. They just ran a special SD yesterday for 72 hours, actually, for what is it? I forget, one of the British products there. But a lot of folks say, well, that's really cheap price, and it is. You know why they run those specials? It's called a loss leader. That's why once in a while you'll see on these websites they'll run a price that's below what their cost is or near their cost. It's called a loss leader, and they do that specifically to get your name and your address. They'll never leave you alone, folks. Trust me. I leave you alone, but you have to come find me. I don't go looking for you, but they're called loss leaders, and that's why you see those cheap 72-hour and 24-hour deals. And seldom I have that type of product anyway. I'm going to carry a product that's cheaper than those, and I wouldn't pay the kind of prices that again, I like to stick with the generic products. That's it, folks. Have a great day. I got to get to business and explain to these people why I've been ignoring them for the last several minutes here. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now. Well, hopefully tomorrow. Bye now.